Welcome to Cantina Vizsla. For the safety of the bartenders and any other patrons, remember to keep all arms, legs, tentacles, or any other extremities you may have to yourself at all times. So come right in, grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Coming to you from the Panic Room in the crap part of the cantina, I'm Sparrow, and with me, as always, is a man who some say is currently writing a sci-fi thriller entitled 2020. All I know is I call him Stan.
Yeah, I was writing it, and my computer crashed, so I lost it all. Thanks, 2020.
I heard it turned into a historical documentary.
Right, yeah. It was too depressing to even contemplate any further.
And with us, I think it's third time in a row, Cottman.
Yeah.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh,
doing good.
We're surviving. Trying to get through 2020.
That's all we can hope for at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Panic Room's a little snug, but I think if we keep this up, we could probably knock a wall down, make it a little more open concept, expand it a little bit.
Honestly, it's been getting a little ripe in here because everybody's been locked down and quarantined for so long.
Right.
Gross.
But, oh man, what have you been up to the last couple weeks, Stan?
Oh man, the joys of real estate. Kind of mentioned last show, we're just kind of YOLO'd it and decided to buy a house, and been trying to get my current place ready to move out of, get everything we need for the new place. They moved our closing date up a week, so that puts a little extra pressure on it, but it's going to be nice to try to get settled in and set up for the holidays. But
so what you're saying is your honey-do list shrunk and then got bigger, and now it's condensed down in which you have less time, and then, yeah.
Right, yes. I spent this morning out trimming hedges and extension cords. This afternoon I'll be attempting to hang some crown molding. So we'll see how that goes. If I don't make it the next episode, love you guys, and it's been fun.
So crown molding, I will tell you this, and I'm sure Wink would be able to go through and tell you this too. Double check the angles, because the angles are not what you think you need to cut for corners.
Right, yeah. Well, I've got the miter saw that's supposed to kind of help with all that, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I've cut perfect angles. I'm like, oh, 45s. Yep, no, it's not 45, so.
Right, yeah, it's just insert the gif of the little math thing flying around here.
So how much of this is cutting into your brand new Xbox experience?
A little bit, yeah. We got the new X, Destiny 2 expansion drops. I've been plugging away at that. It's kind of a weird console upgrade this time around. We're so used to getting a new box and everything is just new and shiny and awesome, and this one feels just like you upgraded your computer. I mean, I opened the box, I opened the app on my phone, logged in, all of my stuff transferred over to the new one. It's like, hey, here you go. You can play.
I prefer stuff like that. That way you don't have to think about going through. It's like, what was that password again? Ah, crap.
Yeah, it was super seamless. I downloaded a few of the games off of Game Pass. Gears Tactics looks really, really good. I haven't been able to mess with like the 120 frame rate yet because my TV don't support it. Hopefully, once I get to the new house and get settled in, I'll get a new one and can play around with that. But
it sounds like they're getting rid of a lot of the stuff that I complained about with consoles and everything going to the next generation. Because my big thing was always, I put that much work into all these games and I lose every single progress for all of them, and it does not carry over because I just upgraded.
Yeah, now this all game saves. It's on the cloud, so it just downloads your save, your settings, game library. I mean, if you got Game Pass, you've got a huge library already. You have access to pretty much all Xbox games. It's backwards compatible all the way to Xbox One. I mean, I know there's a lot of PlayStation fans out there, and Five's out, and yay, I'm happy for you. But I'm an Xbox guy, so I'm speaking on that. Nothing against PlayStation.
The only thing I have against PlayStation is I cannot. That controller is not comfortable to me to play with both sticks. I like the offset.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
and
see,
the
I like the PS controller.
Yeah, I think it's got kind of what you got used to. I was a GameCube fan back in the day, so Nintendo just always had the jankiest controllers. But hey, here we are.
Yeah, it's personal preference.
Y'all, I know y'all watched The Supernatural. Did y'all see the finale?
I haven't been able to get through all of it on Netflix yet. I have every intention to it, get there eventually, but I have not.
Okay, well,
Same.
we'll okay, well, for all y'all that do watch it,
For all y'all who watch 12 seasons. Actually, it's probably more than that, isn't there?
15.
Oh,
Isn't
it's
it?
so many seasons.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
That's what
billion
got me.
seasons.
I watched the first 5, and then I just had to kind of take a break, and it was just so daunting.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, Sparrow, what have you been up to? We kind of been missing you lately.
Yeah, it's been... oh, man, 2020. So, went through and pretty much right after the last show I was on, went back to work, and yeah, where I was working with is shop vac, went through, and yeah, the bank repossessed and basically took control of the company and was shutting everything down. So lost my job, been going through applying to a whole bunch of jobs, was able to find something. We'll see how it goes. I started beginning of November at a new place doing planning. We'll see where it goes. Have a couple other opportunities that I'm going to go through and interview for and check out. One's down in North Carolina, and the other one's kind of actually seeing if a company... It seems like the bank is actually selling ShopBack as a whole, so might actually get a call back as far as go through and see what opportunities come back that way. But it's been a interesting roller coaster of...
Yeah, sounds like it. Wow.
Yeah, especially when it's you walk in and it's like you see people going in and out all morning, like handing paperwork, and basically what I was doing there was kind of a business analyst role in which I was actually going through looking at all the orders coming in, what's going out. So it's like I had a pretty good idea what was going on, and the only thing that shocked me was the paperwork that said, "Hey, you're done today." I'm like, oh. Okay, I kind of expected the shutdown part. I wasn't expecting the today part. I was expecting to have a couple weeks or a few weeks, not just completely lose everything right away. So yeah, I've been going through that and just trying to go through, and because of that and everything's going on, I've been doing little projects around my house just to wrap everything up, working on painting right now just to kind of get ready to go through and eventually either sell it to move or sell it just to upgrade houses.
Yeah. Hey, joys of real estate.
Hey,
Yeah.
It's getting us all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. That's the stuff that I enjoy, though. So it's like I go through and everything started happening. It's like I need something to kind of keep my mind off everything and just kind of get away. That's the easiest solution to me, is just come up with a project and kind of focus down on it, work on measurements, work on what paint scheme and everything I want. It helps me out and distracts me from everything going on, unlike college football or anything, because man, Penn State sucks. Go through all excited about the season. I'm like, man, got a good team. Yeah. Not quite what I was expecting. I just go through and watch it and just shake my head. I was like, I don't even know. Because they look good, and then they look really bad, and then they're down by 3 touchdowns, and I'm like, how'd that happen? I mean, they don't look that bad. So yeah, it's 2020. I'm just hoping to go through and get to the end of the year and figure out what 2021 has in store for us.
Oh yeah, let's hope it's on the upswing.
I don't know if it could get any worse. So
don't tempt it.
Don't say that.
Right.
Jeez, it can always get worse.
Well, Cott, what have you been up to?
Nothing. Same old from last time. But found out on Friday afternoon that my son was in direct exposure with a teacher who had COVID.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and so they said
Wow.
that he can't. Yeah, right. And he can't come back to school for 2 weeks. And so we're all going to get tested tonight because the site that does it is backed up that far. And so we're all going to go. So I've already taken off for these 2 days. So I'm actually on Thanksgiving break as we speak.
That's right. Yeah, you are.
So
Well,
we're
good
putting
luck,
the
man. Hope
we're putting the Cottman family in quarantine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, locking them down.
I mean, we weren't going to do any like Thanksgiving visit anybody anyways, but now it's completely done.
Yeah, we canceled ours too. We're just gonna cook a bunch of food at the house and maybe FaceTime a few people, and that's gonna be it. Just this.
Yep.
Family's important and all, but damn, it's just not worth it.
Exactly. It's like I'd rather see you alive.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna
y'all
go.
are traveling out there. Be safe and don't mess around with symptoms.
I'm gonna go through and make myself a homemade apple pie and just sit there and eat it myself.
Hey, yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Happy Thanksgiving to me.
All right. Well, we so there's 3 of us now, seems like. So that's going to be good. With all the crap going on, we can take some time and take a knee if we need to, and hopefully the show will go on. So we're really going to focus on reliability and getting shows out there and staying on top of things. So if y'all want to support us in these efforts, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Cantina Vizsla. If you drop $1 or $2 if you're able. If not, hey, we understand. Yeah, that's my ad.
Yeah, we'll do our best. I'm gonna do my best as soon as now that the world's starting to. Actually, it's not even calming down for me yet. I'm gonna try to go through and make time and go through and do that. I was more worried about everything else going on.
Absolutely. Yeah, when your livelihood is on the line, it's really hard to scrape up enough and give a fuck to talk about Piet at 7 stars and galactic challenges, because really, who cares?
Yeah, we'll get into that later. There's also parts of the game and everything that was kind of discouraging to me. Like, I was still playing and still following everything, but it's like one of those points in the game that you start treading water and you're like,
yeah,
you're climbing the hill and it takes so long to get there, and as soon as you actually hit that peak, everything's going to get a lot smoother, but it's like in one of those like grinds right now, and it's just taking so long, and like it's bad, but I'm coming close to the end of that, which
it's sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to go through and ask you like where you're actually standing in the game, and we'll kind of get into that then.
Yeah, kind of the same deal. We talked about it last episode. It's been a down part for me in the game too, and like you said, we're treading water and just slowly bobbing up and down toward a goal. Unless you're just willing to put money into it, and our situation's actually right now where we're not. So it does this slow progress, and you're looking at needing thousands of signal data to get these dumb characters relic to get a character you need to progress in the game. These galactic legends. I've got 3 characters I need to relic to get Jedi Master Luke. Just Wiggs, Leia, and Wiggs and Leia are my last 3. So I need a few more relic signals, but it's still going to take me probably all week to grind out that signal data to unlock those, just so I can start farming tickets to unlock to get into the event. So I'm still looking at 2 months to get Luke ultimate?
No, it won't be that long.
No, by the time he gets the ultimate, yes, it probably will be.
Ultimate, yeah.
As far as that goes, and yeah, Jedi Master Luke takes a significant step forward as soon as you get his ultimate. But yeah, and that's
Also,
even going through with doing Wigs and Leia for all the signal data and everything that you need. That's also at least 3 refreshes of Cantina to be able to do that in a week.
Yeah.
So it's not even like you aren't spending crystals to get there. It's not, oh, I'm just using the natural energy progression to be able to go through and do it in a week. It's, no, I'm actually spending crystals to be able to do that also.
Right. And, it's by design because they got the easy buttons just right there. Just buy throw a 20 in there, throw a 40 in there, why not? And just go ahead and buy it and get it over with. You want to.
Yeah.
Well, the bright side is the Jedi Master Luke event is super duper easy.
Good.
Yeah.
Wait, have you looked at Stan's mods?
True. Yeah.
I don't even think it'll matter because it is the what do you call it? The ultimate. I went 10 for 10. It was so stinking easy.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that they went through and toned it down after seeing Rey and Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and like how you actually had to mod specifically for the event. A specific lineup made all the difference, and how many people were actually losing on that. And they were like, that really wasn't by intention. The tickets were supposed to be the difficult part, not actually completing the event. So we toned it down because of that after looking at it. Which was good. I mean, they definitely should have.
Yeah. It's no fun to get that kick in the balls and losing all those tickets.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least you're getting pretty close to Jedi Master Luke, so that will be your 3rd Galactic Legend then?
Yeah. And I've got everything ready to go for Emperor as far as character stars. I'll set to start the relic grind on that.
What? Yeah, I was gonna say some of that's not as bad though. I mean, you're going through is some of the characters do crossover, so you have some of them done.
Yeah, a few of them. Talking about last episode, Marauder kicking his ass to Relic 7.
Marauder's better than Royal Guard.
True.
I disagree.
Oh, really?
Oh my god! At least with Royal Guard, I've actually used him. Like, I put him on one of my Empire GAC attack teams, and he's beefy. He's like 170k health and protection. Now, I get Marauder hits hard, but I just don't use him.
Marauder works very well in a Darth Revan team.
And see, my Darth Revan team sucks because I focus so much on the Galactic Legends that I skipped over that whole thing and had kind of recently circled back.
So that's probably where you're seeing Marauder being a more difficult character to find a place for, is because of that. Marauder, to me, does have a place in my squads, which would be going into a Darth Revan team and kind of shuffle people around, so... That
was my national nightmare
too, right?
What was that?
Marauder's fleet too, right? He has a bomber.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess there's that.
Yep. He does have a ship and everything also. So, yeah. I mean, Marauder's painful. Don't get me wrong. He's not the best character to go through, but Royal Guard, I'm kind of like looking at him like, where the hell am I gonna put you?
He's got a ship too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Emperor shuttle. Everybody's clamoring to put that in a team.
I actually use it on my shift the mode you invite other people in. That one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Is that your fourth option
Grand
of
Arena.
ships? Is that your fourth fleet ship that you had to come up with?
No, I'll forget where I put them on. Maybe a reinforcement. Yeah, I typically throw an Empire fleet and Resistance fleet. Yeah,
I mean, by the time you get to that point, to that 4th fleet, you don't have many options after that.
Right. So, well, where you've been grinding out for those legends? Where are you at?
So, I am to the point right now for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, I just need to finish the shards for Hux and Sith Trooper, and I kind of put a pause on them until the next update hits, and kind of went to Mon Mothma and Chupio just to try to get shards for them and not waste any current or shards or anything like that for the upcoming. So I'm just been kind of waiting on that, and while I'm waiting on those 2 characters to get shards because they're maxed out, I got Vader, CLS, 3PO, Chewie, and Wampa all to Gear 13, all relic 3, waiting for Jedi Knight Luke to come back. So I basically been trying to get 2 of them, get Jedi Knight Luke ready, and also Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. And I've been looking out pretty well with the new mod slicing material and everything. Been taking a lot of these mods that I had, because I had a lot of mods that slice speed 4 times. I just haven't had that much luck getting it to the slice 5 times. So I'm up to, I think, what did I say, 6 or 8, something like that, of mods that are over 24 speed that have hit slice speed 5 times. So hey, there's some positives coming out of this. I am getting better speed mods. I am getting towards Jedi Knight Luke, but how we were talking before, as far as treading water, it's like I have a Rey team that's kind of hovering, but I have a Gear 12 Watt on the team. I have a Gear 12 Jedi Knight Revan on the team. So it's like, it just kind of treads water, doesn't really do much. I'm not going to go through and stop my other Galactic Legend farms or farm for Jedi Knight Luke to go back through and try to make that team all reliced out, Relic 7, just so I can get into top 20 rather than the top 30 that I'm in right now. It's not worth that added investment and added time to me. But really close to getting Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, that'll help. Really close to Jedi Knight Luke, which that'll help, and both of those characters should happen in quick succession.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things, man. Once it starts rolling, everything just starts kind of snowballing.
Yeah, and then Jedi Master Luke is going to be going through trying to get Mon Mothma and Chupio shard wise, but a lot of the characters I would already have reliced up from getting Jedi Knight Luke, getting them up, and that's going to be a big portion of them. So it's getting there, and I'm getting to the point. I'm getting over that hump, but man. It has been a long grind trying to get there. What have you been up to, Cottman?
Well, I feel kind of bad now because you just made it sound like you're Sisyphus going up the hill, but I finished everything for the Eternal Emperor. I got Marauder up to R7, and I took Piet up to R5, and then I unlocked Seep and had enough to take him directly to 12.3, so not quite relics.
Give all Zetas?
I have 0 Zetas. And I was so mad because I had
Zeta
one.
poor.
I'm so Zeta poor. I had 1 Zeta ready to go. I was like, all right, I'll have this one. By the time November 25th comes around, I'll have a second one, so that'll be a third, so I'll be okay.
You don't even want to know how many Zetas I have.
Well, get this. For Tier 1 of Sith Palp, you have to have Sidious Zeta.
I don't have a problem. I have over 200 Zetas saved up.
Well, okay. I'm Zeta poor, so I had to give up that one, and then oh god, I'm just so mad. This is like the maddest I've been at the game, which is like so very small compared to what you guys are going through. But I was just like, man, it's making me use R7 Marauder, Zeta, and Sidious.
Well, that, and it doesn't bother me because I figure if I take a character to Gear 13, I might as well give them their Zetas also to make them as useful as possible. It just seems pointless. Hey, I have a character at Gear 13, Relic 5, but I didn't put the Zeta on it? It's like, no. We'll put the Zeta on it.
Okay. This actually, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Say you guys, and this is just a personal opinion, say you guys double Zeta a character. do you guys feel like bound almost to take him to a minimum of R5 or R7?
I don't know.
Let me see. I think there's only one character that I have a Zeta on that I do not have at least at Gear 12 right now. And I'm pretty sure I know what character that is, and it just happened to be... let's see here.
The reason I ask is because I have T3M4, and I have him at Relic 2, and he's got 2 Zetas on there. But I just feel like I need to take him up.
Oh no, I would. I have three characters that are the only characters that I have below Gear 12 that even one Zeta. I go through and look at it. Even if I have one Zeta, I kind of want them at least Gear 12 because that's when I was giving them gear. So, and pretty much all of these are for reasons. So I have a Zeta for Jin Urso. She's Gear 10, but that was for the original Hoth territory battles with the Rogue One mission. That is why she has that Zeta, and just that team kind of is nowhere. It's not worth actually gearing up or anything. Otherwise, I would. And the other 2 Zetas are Qui-Gon Jinn and General Veers that I have both at Gear 11. Which, if I had time, I would take up a Veers team, Trooper team, up to Gear 12 or actually Gear 13 without a problem and not think twice about it. And Qui-Gon, I think, was one of my first Zetas, and you know, that foresight just didn't last very long.
So, somehow I have that Zeta on Sidious. I'm trying to remember why I did that. Maybe for the tank raid at some point. I think he was hot for like a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think tank raid tier phase 2, the tank raid, I want to say.
Yeah.
At some point because it was a Vader Sidious team, if I remember correctly. I think that was a Vader team, had Sidious on it.
Must have been why I did
it. Back in the day, I mean, that was, jeez.
It was a while ago.
3 years ago now? Jeez. Man, how the game has moved.
Yes. Well, speaking of moving.
Yeah, let's get into the calendar and figure out where it's moving to.
We want to. I had so much fun just dismissing the calendar wholesale last month. All right, let's see what's happening.
What happened last month in Galaxy of Heroes? Nothing. We had our standard events show back up.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's where we're at. We got another Grand
It's just
Arena.
on like Are there assault battles in a cycle? Like, is that how it does it? Has anybody ever looked at that? Because I feel like it is.
I don't know.
They show up like every weekend. I don't know if there's actually a cycle to it, but they definitely show up within probably a week or two of them.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever the rotation is.
Yeah, we've got Rebels Roundup coming up on the 27th, and we've got Places of Power on the 30th. We've got the Navarro Challenge over the weekend again. Now, did they do anything for Thanksgiving last year, as far as special events or packs or anything goes? I don't remember.
No,
I know we're coming up on the 5th anniversary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Wednesday.
I was gonna say, usually because everything falls so close to the anniversary, usually we just get like an anniversary gift. And I think last year was the first year that they didn't do like the 25% more crystals.
Yeah.
For everything, they just did 25% more crystals just on the $20 pack, and nothing above that like they usually did.
Yeah.
But traditionally, this is like when they would come out with a territory battle. This is when they came out with territory wars, raids, and everything. It's usually this late November time frame.
Yeah. No, in the past we've got like a full Zeta, and I think they gave us a stun gun one year.
Yeah, I mean, last year I think we got a full stun gun, full Carbonti, full Zeta, enough slicing material to take a mod up to tier 6.
And we got 15 Malik and gas shards, didn't we?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All I want this year is signal data. So.
I want Zetas.
I'm kind of a sparrow. I've got like 275. I just put one on Boba Fett for this damn challenge. It still didn't do me no good.
I just put one on Rolo. Rolo was my last Zeta.
What? Because did you do that because you relicked her?
Yeah. She went to relics and there was a red dot. And I'm like, well, she's relic, so I'm going to find a use for her. Let me put her Zeta on and just kind of go with it.
See, I feel
Captain
like you
Han
can't give me
Solo's
as much
get one.
crap about my R7 Rose now.
Yeah, Cholo's get... Yeah. That's probably the one Zeta I haven't given. I haven't given Rose a Zeta, but I have looked at Rose as a Zeta, but Cholo's definitely getting a Zeta as soon as he goes up.
So that's calendar. Hopefully we'll get some goodies this week.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that, and I'm hoping for the actual update to hit too, to try to get this. Basically, it's just kind of a game overhaul that we've been talking about needing for the last. Has it been like a year now?
It's been a while.
At least. So, I mean, we can kind of get into it. So the big thing about one of the things they announced was actually going through it. And they said it's the basis of the economy in Galaxy of Heroes, which I do not agree. That is not the base of the economy for Galaxy of Heroes, but is definitely a big part of it. Is that because of how many characters that are currently in the game, they recognize with how many hard node farms and everything like that, they need to increase the speed of newer characters or new players to get characters up to 7 stars. So they are going to basically make a wholesale change and double what the current drop rates are for all characters except new release characters is essentially what it is. They have to be out for, it seems, about a year, and then it goes through into this double drop situation, which is great and is definitely needed because hell, when did we start playing? There were 30 or 40 characters,
right?
And now there's 160, something like that, if you include ships.
Right, and so many are hard coded that you need now with the legends and all the different events. Back when we started, you can just kind of farm, what you wanted, with the exception of a few legendaries. But now, man, almost the entire roster is needed for something.
Yeah, I mean, you go through all the old Republics needed, all now with Galactic Legends, all the Resistance needed, all the First Orders needed. A good hunk of the Rebels are needed, yeah. So this is a much needed change, and I'm hoping, from the sounds of it, they said we'll see how this goes and go from there. I think it's a good start. This isn't the major bottleneck people are having. It is part of it. This is a good.
I think you're looking at it from an in-game player, and it's easy for us to do because we've been playing for 5 years. But I think they're focusing more on brand new players.
I do see that and everything, but I think it's also the start of it because those new players are running into the same bottlenecks as older players. Because the bigger bottleneck to me, whether I was a new player or an old player, has always been this purple gear, stun guns, stun cuffs, anything like that. That is the bigger bottleneck to me. Yeah, the character shards are great. I understand that new players definitely need to go through and be able to get that quicker. But I think the gear is just as important to speed up as it is the character shards. So now they're going to have a whole bunch of character shards and characters at 7 stars, but they're all going to be at gear 5, gear 6, because that's when Carbanti's stun guns and stun cuffs are all needed.
Okay, my pushback against that is now, what happens once you get all those characters up to 7 stars? You still keep doing it, and it just goes into shard shop currency, so then they can start focusing. I 100% agree that there is going to be a gear crunch, but I see this as a good thing, but really for the newer players, because they need that influx of people in, because, we're here for the long haul. I don't think any of us are going to stop. We like the IP. We've invested 5 years of our life, but they need to get fresh blood into it. And I think that's the way to get them up, so they could get a legendary character or a hero's character or, what do you call it, a galactic legend quicker, so then they could get into a bigger guild that could help them get more gear, other currency, etc.
Oh yeah, I think it's a good start. I just think they're going to find out that now newer players are going to get those characters up to 7 stars, but they aren't going to have enough gear to be able to use those characters in a meaningful way. Because I think as an endgame player, I think the more the bottleneck is actually the gold pieces of gear. So going through and actually decreasing or increasing the drop rates for all the purple gear, I don't think as a detriment, and it would also help those new players progress into the guilds. Because those higher end guilds, it's like, hey, you had those characters at 7 stars, but they're at what, gear 6, gear 7? You need to go through and work on them, and man, I don't know about you, but Carbantis are still a pain to farm.
Stun guns.
Yes. Carbantis, stun guns, stun cuffs, you name it.
My Carbonian stun gun hoarder is actually doing fairly well. Let me check here. That's one thing I have noticed, but yeah, some of the other little purple pieces, like you said, they're a little bit harder to come by.
Well, I think a lot of the characters you've been gearing, because I've experienced the same thing, are characters that I've had at gear 12 or gear 11 for a while, and they only require like 1 stun gun or something like that for those gear 12 finishers. Yeah. So you aren't using the stun guns as much. You aren't going through and taking, like when we had to take Phoenix up, or actually when I was just doing First Order trying to get all those, they require a ton of stun guns because I never invested in that team. So pretty much everybody except like 2 characters were all like gear 6, gear 7.
Yeah. And I'm also saying this, because I haven't been hoarding it to get Luke ready to go whenever I get him, but I'm sitting on 11 stun guns and 18 Carbantis right now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that will evaporate pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I mean, don't get me wrong, they're easing up and everything. I just think when they do this, I'm hoping that next step is taking all the gear that's below gold and doing double drops on that to help those new players move into the higher end guilds and actually have characters geared accordingly for that also.
Right. Now, with this, they also said they were going to adjust the shard shop currency. So,
yeah,
the prices are going to double to kind of offset getting more of these shards. So have y'all run the numbers? Is it better to hoard this stuff, or should we just spend it like usual?
It's, to me, running the numbers and everything, where it's pretty much break even. It really doesn't matter. The only time you're actually going to lose out is if you're one of the players that have trying to decrease your GP by not 7-starring a character. If you're doing that and don't cash in those shards for a character, you're going to be losing out on currency. But if you're go through and just farm characters and naturally use shards, buy things out of the shard shop, you aren't losing anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just spending my ally points and stuff as I get them. I'm not.
Yeah, that was the only thing I could
crazy.
find as far as people losing out, is if they have a horde of character shards and they don't actually cash them in before the update hits. That's the only time you're actually going to lose out on anything. Other than that, you break even.
Sounds good.
And then we'll go right into, they had a little bit of a little teaser here at the end of the road ahead, because they mentioned they're really excited about The Mandalorian coming back on. And they recommended farming all these characters because, you know, they may have a little ingot upcoming. So, certainly sounds like they might actually finally be doing another legendary character. Because I think the last legendary character would have been 3PO? Chewie?
Padme.
It's one of those two. Oh, Padme. That's right. They all came out like right around each other. So finally, another legendary character, which would going to be, or I shouldn't say another legendary character. It sounds like another legendary character. Who do you think it's going to be?
Well, you know, we had kind of thought Moff Gideon, but since they unveiled him as a marquee character, that really frees it up to be somebody else. And we were kind of debating this before the show. There's two ways of looking at it, and it really depends on how much insight into the story that CG has. You know, if they know what we know, which isn't that much, I would change my answer unless they know something crazy coming on. And we can't really talk about this without spoiling The Mandalorian.
Well, let's get into what we would like to see, and then what it's more than likely going to be.
Again, we can't talk about it.
Yeah, I think
without spoiling. So
we could just say names. We could just say names. Names aren't going to spoil anything.
But why would we say
No, it won't.
Why would we say certain names if they weren't already in the show?
None of the names and everything, the speculation's out there. It's not going to spoil anything.
Well, just in case, if you haven't seen Mandalorian, get your life right and go watch The Mandalorian, and then come back and listen to the rest of the show. Now, that being said, there's a couple of characters that we think we're going to see in Season 2 that would absolutely be legendary. So who wants to take the first one?
I want to take the first one because this is my hope. I want to see Ahsoka.
Okay, so we got Ahsoka the White, Ahsoka...
Just an adult Ahsoka. An adult Ahsoka.
We have adult Ahsoka already in the game. That's full grown. Now it's getting into like long in the tooth Ahsoka.
Hey, she'll be able to take out Vader. I mean, Vader's scared of only one person, and that's Ahsoka.
See, last time I was on with Stan, I agreed with you. I thought it was going to be Ahsoka because she is legendary.
Yes. That is my hope. I'm not saying that's what I think is going to be. With the information they gave and everything, I'm leaning a different way on what I think's going to happen, but I'm holding on hope for Ahsoka.
Yeah. See, that's exactly where I am too.
White robe, white staff. Yeah. With also dual blades, of course, because that's Ahsoka. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
I don't know if you know this about her, but she is no Jedi.
Nope.
But she's badass. That's all you need to know.
No, yeah, she's badass. Maybe she might not be badass anymore. She might just be.
Nope, doesn't
hanging
matter.
out with the robe.
You don't lose that. That's kind of like Jason Bourne is always going to be Jason Bourne.
We don't know. All we know is she has a robe and she looks at Sabine and she has a ship. That's all we know about her right now.
And all we know about you yell at trees. So I mean, that doesn't change.
And you're a budding real estate magnate.
Right. Y'all know a lot about me. Okay, so here's my speculation and my hope, and I would not have said this last week, but things have happened on the show. Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
She could be pretty legendary. She was in the last episode as a complete badass. They're kind of expanding her storyline. We had heard rumors she was going to be in the show, but we didn't know if it was going to be like just a flashback, her just dying real quick and getting the dark saber. But turns out they're doing a lot more with her. And if the story goes further with her, could definitely see her coming into the game as a legendary character with Mandalorian tag.
We'll get into.
Yeah, we'll talk about more on the after show.
Yeah, because we'll get into that because I have a question about one character who I don't understand how Bo-Katan is going after the saber when another character technically during that time should be the one with the saber. You know where I'm getting?
No.
Cut it off. I didn't hear it.
We'll get into it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it at the Star Wars.
Because Moff Gideon had to get the darksaber from someone, and the darksaber should be in possession of someone else. Let's put it that way. Cottman, who would you hope this legendary character would be?
Hope?
Yes.
Ahsoka.
Okay.
Ahsoka. That was my thinking last time because I told Stan, I was like, she's been in the Clone Wars, she's been in Rebels, now she's going to be in Mando. She is legendary to me, whereas Din Djarin is not so legendary.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
However, like I think he would be better suited as a hero's journey because he is going through his hero's journey. He's got all the Joseph Campbell characters with him. But I think the ingots is just such a clear clue that it's going to be Beskar Mando.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with the armor. Man.
Armor would be cool. I'd like to see her in the game, but she needs to be back in the show. And
well, actually, I've kind of switched on her now that again, spoiler here, that she's kind of a cultist. Kind of.
Yeah,
it definitely is.
Yeah, she is definitely kind of
soured my view on her.
Yeah, she is definitely kind of the leader of the Death Watch.
Right? And not only that, like, all those dudes, like, she's like, stop fighting, and this is the way, and they were just all into it. It was like that scene in Dude Who Stole My Car where they're like, Zoltan!
Right. Yeah, there's so much awesome lore implications with that, and again, we'll hit that at the end of the show. We have another person on here. Just wild speculation.
This is
want to cover him?
This is wild speculation, and it would be cool to see Mace Windu.
Right? Yeah, the way this season's going, like just dropping these characters, bringing him back would be just so cool.
Yeah, he needs to kill some snakes.
Yeah, right.
He needs
some crate dragons or something.
Clean out the Razor Crest. That Razor Crest is just infested with stuff nonstop. But
so I think we kind of agree that most likely at this point, again, unless they know some things about the show that we don't, Din Djarin, just Beskar Mando, seems to be the most likely character to go after.
Yeah, I definitely
even though he's not. Lore-wise, he's not legendary. Marketing-wise, he's absolutely legendary.
No, he is not even legendary marketing-wise. The child is legendary marketing-wise.
Yeah, that's really true.
It is, yeah.
Din Djarin, Beskar Mando is just kind of along for the ride. But, yeah, I do think with the teaser they went through and put in there and everything like that, I definitely do think it's Beskar Mando. The child could be included in his kit, actually having the basically like egg-shaped cart that the child actually rides in could be part of the kit, so you kind of have a 2-for-1 there.
I think they do that, and then like every time Mando does a move, Baby Yoda just kind of peeks in from the side of the screen, and peeks back out.
It could also be
something he hides.
Yeah, it could also.
All he's done this season, other than murder somebody's family.
Well, could also be something like a kit like Jedi Knight Revan or I think it's L3 that basically right before he dies or anything, like when someone tries to do a finishing blow, he goes through and stuns them to go through and save Mando for basically one turn.
What he could do is the child could actually be an ability, and it's like a heal, because remember he healed Grief.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of possibilities there.
Yeah, he's got a few things he could do.
And they've already said that shown that they could combine two characters with the Backpack Chewie.
Right, yeah.
And also IG-11 with the child.
Yeah, but like Chewie and 3PO are Chewie and 3PO.
Yeah.
And like 3PO has that ability where he turns and blinds everybody.
Yep. So I mean, I think that's kind of like where I'm kind of leading. Is it's going to be Beskar Mando with the child in some shape or form with him, and going through and just having a very cool event. And I'm hoping it's kind of like the BB-8 one, because that was kind of the
BB-8.
Yeah, BB-8 has a ton of like cutscenes and everything like that, which is always interesting to see a BB-8 running around. The storyline was pretty good with BB-8's legendary.
And also, this wouldn't be legendary, but I'd like to see Cobb Vanth in the game somehow.
Oh, 100%.
He's just a cool character.
Yeah, they need to get in some. They've been doing a lot better recently over the last couple months, getting more characters into the game and everything like that. And I think this Shard expediting is going to go through and help with that too. I think you're going to see a lot more characters start appearing into the game, not just legendary or galactic legend wise.
All right.
Which, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but I wanted to go get your guys' opinion about this. So during everything that's been happening, kind of been half-heartedly going through and playing the game, mainly because going through with Grand Arena Championships, Territory Wars, Arena, everybody has Galactic Legends. You need to go through and be able to beat these Galactic Legends, which it seems like the counter for a Galactic Legend is having another or a different Galactic Legend. And if you don't really have that, it's just a slog to go through and beat it. When looking up the counters, number one, it's not like, I guess the first 2 to 3 years of this game, in which basically like the bigger YouTubers, they went through and specifically created videos on, hey, this is this counter for Darth Revan. Hey, this is the counter for CLS. This is the old school CLS Titan team with Chirrut and Baze, and this is how you beat it. This is the counter to that. Now all the YouTubers go through. It's harder to find that information because the YouTubers stream their Grand Arenas and kind of expect people to watch all that to figure out the counters and everything. And then when you do find the counters require me to go through and basically fully relic out a team that I'm not ready for yet. And it's going to be taking away from my Galactic Legends farm. It's taking away from my Jedi Knight Luke farm. And my opinion of that was just kind of, well, I'll just ignore that for right now, because it'll help out a little bit, but it's not going to progress me more than getting another Galactic Legend, getting Jedi Knight Luke, which gets me to Grandmaster Luke. Do you think I'm doing that right, or do you think it's actually worth going after the oddball counters, having Thrawn and Vader and teams like that to go through and counter the current Galactic Legends? Or do you just go through and go all in and try to get another Galactic Legend to get that true counter?
I'm going for the legends, or straight to the Galactic Legend, but it is worth investing in that, one-off team, because you're always going to need it. If it's a useful counter, that frees up your Galactic Legend to be another defense or another offense somewhere else. So it does pay off. But me personally, just I'd rather go for the Galactic Legends. It's more exciting.
Okay. Cottman, what do you think here?
I think Stan's 100% right. Go for the Galactic Legend of your choice. Then as you do that, you're probably going to be relicking up characters who will help you with the counters anyways, especially these latest two.
Okay, I mean, that's pretty much where I was at, and that's what I was doing. I was just making sure it's like going through. Sometimes you get so farther down the rabbit hole, you get confirmation bias, and you're like, I'm doing the right thing no matter what anybody else says, and I'm starting looking at this like, man, I really wish I actually had a counter for this. And it's like that gearing up that team would be a short-term payoff versus that long-term game of having another Galactic Legend. So basically, I held off on them to be able to get Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, which will give me the counter to Rey, and then I'll have 2 Galactic Legends to go back and forth with, and then I'm very close to Jedi Knight Luke also, as soon as that event comes back.
Well, see, my best friend in real life also plays this game, and he just unlocked Rey. And that's the only GL he has, and he shot up, I think, like to 52 or something without the ultimate in his arena. So now he's getting more crystals, and, I think that it's just, like you said, you were kind of falling back, and you're kind of feeling stuck. Well, he was telling me he was in the 200s for arena because he didn't get Darth Revan right away. He had Jedi Revan. And so once this happened, he feels like he's actually making progress. And I think he's been more engaged with the game. He's texted me more about it than he had in probably like the previous year.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the way I feel. It's like you go through and have Rey, and then you hit that. I have a feeling he's going to hit that wall, but since he was down so far, he might actually go through and actually see that progression longer than I did. And like, yeah, I was also very far behind on First Order. So it's like I went through and kind of made that commitment because I already started relicking up the First Order when Jedi Knight Luke hit. I was like, I'm sticking with my Galactic Legends. I'm going to go after Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and then I will go to Jedi Knight Luke. And it seems like it's going to work out here in the long term, but man, it is very painful right now. Because Rey vs. Rey matchups, not fun at all.
Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah. It's like
the old Jedi Knight Revan.
Yes, it is exactly like that. So it really isn't engaging to me, in which I go through. I'm like, do I really want to play this matchup that's going to take a full 5 minutes, and I will probably lose at the very end? Ugh.
Okay, well, I have a question that's going to kind of expand on that. How would you 1 through 4 rank the Galactic Legends?
As far as like if I was giving advice, telling people who to go for first and like what order, or which one's the best?
I think wouldn't both of them be the same?
No, I would flip-flop 2 if I was doing order on how good they were and what I would go after.
Give me your 2 lists.
So, like, if I was telling someone to go after, like, a character, or, well, it would depend on their roster. But going through, I would actually say, first, go after Rey, Jedi Master Luke, well, which includes Jedi Knight Luke, and then Emperor, and then Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
So you think the Emperor is higher than Supreme Leader?
I would say people not as far as usability goes. I put it in that order because of what characters would already be done. Because you would have Grandmaster Luke, you would have Vader, and you would have some characters for Emperor. That's where the crossover kind of comes in. Same way with like going through. It's no point going after Jedi Master Luke first. It just the way the requirements are. That's the way I would put that. But if I was going through and say which one's the best, it would probably be Grandmaster Luke, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, Emperor, and then Rey last.
Oh, okay. Stan, what do you say?
I'll be completely honest. I have not seen much use for the new Galactic Legends. Not because they're not useful. I just have not been researching them because I've been so far away from getting them. I've come across Luke a few times in Arena and have been able to beat him with Rey. So I mean, there's that.
Did they have their
ultimate?
No, not ultimate. Yeah, the ultimate makes a big difference.
Ultimate Luke whooped my ass.
Yeah,
but that was So I really don't know what the other use cases are. I've heard that Luke, Jedi Master Luke, is great in territory battles. But I've been told that bullshit before about Rey, so I don't believe that.
I think that's confirmation bias of just hating light side territory battles.
Could very well be. Yeah, I really don't know, to be honest with you. I'm going in order. I'm going in order of what I have ready to go, and just following that. I think natural progression of the game would probably lead you toward Rey first, and maybe Luke if you're kind of later in the game. Beyond that, I don't know.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think? Since you have all of them, I mean, you're gonna have a better going through on which one's actually the most. Like, see, I can go through and put better on like which I think is the better farming progression, but as far as usability,
we're down here floating around in our little kitty waders, and he's going by like, guys, which yacht do you think is the best? That's you, cottman.
First off, you can't say that, Stan, since you have two of them, and you're almost at your third.
Hey, I'm in a boat, and Cottman's driving by on a yacht. Hey guys, do you want to go fishing? Yeah, if my boat wants to sink.
Okay, so this is how I do it. So there's two tiers, I think, and one tier has three, and then the second tier just has this one. And you got, in the first tier is Rey, Slicker, and Jedi Master Luke. And then Palps is just kind of by himself. I think it's pretty fair he's the worst of the four. Because each of the other three each have something they're great at. Like, it's an easy 16 for 16 for me with Rey and Lightside Geo, and I think that has value. And I would argue that makes her number one, but I know some people get that huge damage fantasy out of Slicker.
Yeah.
And I think Slicker's the most versatile because he can do a lot of different things. He's going to get you number one in Arena. He's going to get you number one in the Sith Raid. He's going to do well like and Tank Raid. Yeah, I think he's the most versatile. So personally, I think CG just did an amazing job. But I really do think Palps. I mean, Palps gets soloed. If you have 5 Sith, Slicker can solo Palps.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
so
yeah, Palps has probably one of the easier counters, but Palp doesn't he? Who does Palp counter?
Palps destroys Jedi.
Yeah, so he destroys any Jedi Knight Revan team or Grandmaster
Jedi
Luke,
Knight
correct?
Luke, yeah. But then on the flip side, Rey really kicks Palps's butt. Rey really kicks Slicker's butt. Yeah. They did a good job of tuning it, and so they each can beat him. Palps, I don't see the versatility that the other three have shown.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense as far as going through. I guess I put Palps up there just going through after seeing him being able to counter all the Jedi and everything and seeing usability. And don't get me wrong, CG did a great job as far as balancing these 4 Galactic Legends amongst themselves.
Yes.
But if you don't have those 4, man, it is painful.
Well, the other thing is like, that I think is a good thing is by doing so, it doesn't matter which route you take, you're going to get a character who's going to, so if you only have one, you'll be able to stay top 100, top 50.
Yeah. I
think that's good.
Right now, in the way everything's progressing, let me tell you, if you have Ray, you're going to be very quickly outside the top 50. Because I am 30-40 right now, and yeah, you pretty much have to have a fully reliced out team to be able to go through and actually progress anything higher than that. And down below, I'm starting to see more and more Kylo and Rey and these other Galactic Legends come up and push me down. So it's very, very quickly shifting, and if you have Rey, it's going to toss you back. And I would imagine...
well,
I don't know. Pout might be able to get around it soon, because I think a lot of people are going after Luke, in which you can kind of like leapfrog Luke's up the board. It might be one of those things of Palps are going to be one of those arena teams that'll climb very easily, but you're also going to fall like a rock.
Well, I just pulled up the meta report on SWGOH, and Rey is still top 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I'm just seeing a lot more of the Galactic Legends come in, and it's pushing me further and further down just because of how many they are, and you know how enjoyable the mirror match is with them. So it's harder to move up.
Well, the mirror matches with Jedi Master Luke are no better.
Well, yeah, of course not. Why would they be?
It's just a big rock fight.
Yeah, the health-based squad. You tend to happen with that. So, I mean, that's where we're sitting with the game. So it sounds like everybody's kind of in agreement that it is worth focusing down on these Galactic Legends because they will progress you the most, or the quickest, rather than, or benefit you in the long run. Let's put this correctly. Is the best way, and not going through and focusing down on that short-term game of relicking out a specific team just to get past a Galactic Legend, because it's going to help you short-term, but it's going to push out your Galactic Legends by quite a significant amount.
Yeah, your return on investment in this isn't there. I mean, best case, you win a few extra rounds of Grand Arena and get a few more pieces of gear.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get one extra Zeta by helping your guild win in territory wars, too.
Right.
As you could tell, Stan, all about those Zetas. Yeah.
I tell you,
you two are Zeta snobs.
True. I'm on my ivory tower made of Zetas.
Says the guy driving by us in a yacht.
Right.
So you got your Zetas. You jerk.
So we did get the absolute best news in this road ahead.
We're going to be able to sim the tank raid.
I thought you were
God
saying
Almighty.
We don't talk about that.
Why
not having to do the tank
do you bring
raid.
Me down?
Yeah, I know. Why'd you invite him?
Because I'm on my yacht. My yacht is named the SS Relegate.
Right. Oh man. So a couple of big newses. God damn it. A couple of big news items in the road ahead. Tank raid simmable. We have asked for this. I know I have personally 4,000 times. It's happening. I'm excited. We're getting, we talked about Relic 8. Not too excited about that because getting to Relic 7 is such a pain in the ass, but we're getting a new way to get this material.
Yeah. Challenge Rancor.
Challenge mode Rancor.
That should be able to drop.
Yeah. Challenge Rancor. Dun. Coming to you in a galaxy near you.
Yeah, we're not getting a new raid anytime soon, looks like, so at least we're getting a recycled one. I guess that's pretty cool, but...
Added polygons, too, to the Rancor.
Yeah.
In Gamguards.
Redoing the art. Yeah.
All right, you two.
I am excited for it. I'm interested to see what this is going to look like. Now, it was kind of unclear to me.
Have new mechanics.
Yeah.
So...
Well, because the mechanics had to be changed, because all it was with Rancor was... figure out a way to remove turn meter and you win.
Well, that would be an easy way to make it non-soloable, but I have to believe it's going to have like a different level or something. Like take away the pigs and maybe stick Boba Fett there or something.
It's got to be something. I mean, think about it. We've got 4 Galactic Legends now. You know, a whole now. Answer: is this a raid? Like, is it going to be a guild activity, or is this an individual event?
No, it is definitely a raid because they said they do not want it individually soloable.
Yeah, like for a team, I could see like having to use your roster.
I'm kind of leaning that it's definitely a raid, and I'm trying to remember in the post if they went through and basically said what we've been suggesting as far as going through, and that the rewards were going to be the same throughout. It's the challenge is actually beating it.
It says raids, so okay. It doesn't say solo.
Okay.
Yeah,
but then again, it says your old rubbery friend, which sounds awkward, will be climbing back from the pit to give you a new challenge, not your guild. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward it being a raid, but it's a little bit of gray area there. But yeah, that's cool, especially since we don't have to do the tank raid anymore. This frees up that time to go back and have to do Rancor. Now I get to bitch about the Sith raid not being simmable.
Jeez.
I mean,
yeah, but at least the Sith raid, you have a carrot in front of you to get to the top 10.
Yeah. Ugh.
Don't get me started on that because I absolutely hate that. It is a guild event. The guild is working together to conquer, and it should be rewarding the guild,
agree.
not creating a divide in the guild.
I 100% agree.
That is my biggest gripe with all the raids, and when they go simmable and everybody gets the same rewards, I think it's amazing. Having divides in the guilds on who gets the better rewards based on how much damage they did because they were able to log in at that time is arbitrary to me. It shouldn't be happening. It should be the guild progressing.
The thing that pisses me off is when like you're sitting there, and I told this to Stan last time, and you're in the top 10, and then 25 minutes passed, and somebody was soloing, but then went and like cooked dinner and forgot to finish it, comes back and finishes it, and then they kick you out of the top 10.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, that is my biggest gripe with all the raids and everything. It should be dropping equal rewards to the whole guild, not just who did the most damage, because the guild is supposed to work together to get like rewards. Mm-hmm. That is just the way I see it, and I think that's why, to me, it feels like I tread water a lot more than other people because I don't have that time to go into the raids to get that bigger score, to get into the top 10 or do this or do that, and it seems like I'm not getting the gear 12 finishers to get up to gear 13 as much as everybody else, but I'm in a top guild and I'm like, well, I could very easily drop down a guild in which I could go through and just hit auto on the raid and get top 10, not a problem, and kind of advance quicker. But I like being in one of a bigger guild for territory battles. I don't know. It's one of those conundrums that hope they fix.
With the new Rancor, yeah.
The Rancor?
Yeah, with the challenge mode Rancor. Hope they address the...
The Rancor for the Rancor?
Yes.
Yes. I guess we got another little quality of life thing, too, with Galactic Challenges. You know, it was kind of complaining about having to do them over and over again. It looks like they're going to kind of auto-complete for the tiers underneath your current one. So that's going to be nice.
I don't know if it was underneath the one. I just think it's... The way I read it is that, like, tier 5, if you beat tier 5, it automatically completes everything underneath. So you're, if you were doing Galactic Challenges and you're a new player, you'd be going 1, 2, 3, 4 and progressing up, trying to beat 5. And then endgame players are probably playing 5, 6, 7 and getting all the rewards underneath that.
Yeah, no, it says any tier underneath your current one will we'll get rewards for. I think 5 was just an example.
Okay, then I read that wrong. That's even better then. I was kind of reading it as you had basically my thought process if you did tier 5 and split it, everybody would have to play like 2 or 3 tiers, which I really didn't think was that bad.
No, they didn't say it specifically, but I hope they add this to assault battles too.
Oh yeah, assault battles are bad. Having to do all those. Yeah, those are rough.
So they're changing them. They're adding an end of event reward, so you'll get your feats and your stars throughout the event, and they get rewarded a new type of currency based on that. So half good, half bad. I like that concept. I don't like particularly the new currency unless we get something really good with it.
I don't have a problem with the currency because, like we talked before, it's like I much rather in the raids. I rather have everything go into currency. That way, I can buy the gear I need at that point in time, and say the rewards are the same, in which you have like the slicing material, the gold pieces, some of the carbantes and everything in that store. You can choose what you need, what you want to buy based on what you're doing at the time. So you can buy slicing material, you can buy gear based on what you need. I think that's always good to me. Having that option helps the gear grind and everything because you actually are picking what you're actually needing based on the character you're gearing up or trying to mod up.
Yeah, I guess it's going to come down to what's in the store and how much currency you get.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yep, definitely. What do you think of the system, Cottman?
I gotta see it before I have any comments. It could be really good. It could be really bad. I mean, I'm not necessarily against a store.
So let's put it this way.
Okay.
Do you prefer to go through and just get event rewards, or do you like just getting a currency and using the currency to buy gear or character shards or whatever it is based on what you're currently doing in the game?
I prefer to be able to choose.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think anybody amongst us would rather the choice, but it's just, yeah. I mean, I'd rather choose. It's just like sometimes, like I have like that one. I don't even know what it is, but it's a ball. It looks like it has all those like rings around it. It's a G12 piece. That's what I keep getting. I have like 13 of them saved up, but I never use them.
Yeah. Yeah. Same way with some of the. I think they need to go through and update the salvage store too, because there are some pieces of gear in there that I have a ton that, guess what, you can't salvage at all to get slicing material out of, because there are some of the left hand side gear 12 pieces that aren't in that store that you can't slice.
Yeah,
the atoms.
Yep.
Stupid atom ones. They got like 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
That's what I was just saying. The ball with the rings around it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can't. Why can't you salvage them to go through and get relic material? I have no idea. All the other stuff is in there the same way with there's a blue piece that looks like the thermal detonator. Yeah, you can craft those and everything, but guess what? You can't get rid of them. You can't salvage them to go through and get relic material. I'm like, wait, you have every other piece of gear in here, but the ones that I have a ton of, all of a sudden I can't use? I was like, just crazy. I don't know if that was an oversight or what it is, but it's definitely odd to me, and I'm not a big fan of it. I was like, if I have extra gear, I want to be able to go through and get rid of it. And what your original intention was of creating a system in which you can use all the gear that you have collected in your time of Galaxy of Heroes. Except I can't, because the gear I want to get rid of, I can't scrap. And then
they need to touch that up too.
We have
kind of a light road ahead, and I'm glad we got one.
Well, no, we got something else here. They did announce a marquee event.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that, but yeah, Moff Gideon is a marquee now. We kind of speculated that he may have been that legendary, but yeah.
And he is just 100% a marquee.
It's gonna be it's a plain. Now, I really hope they bring back like some of the pomp with marquees. Remember when we had Django and they put cinematics in there? They got this fancy new engine now, supposed to make all this a lot easier.
Yeah.
Make these a little more special.
Yeah, we'll see how everything goes, but I don't mind the marquee. I'm definitely interested to see how the shard drops with like Cantina, just using any Cantina energy for IG-11 and Quill. See how that turns around to speed up farming also. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see when that transition happens, to see how that looks and how many shards you can actually get for the characters when you're doing that. And yeah, the final thing in here is, we touched about it, Relic 8, but we really don't want to talk about that. I mean, it's there. Yes, it's a progression. Yes, it'll probably help out. Well, we've been saying it'll probably help out on Geo Lightside territory battles every time there's an update or new character, and it doesn't seem to work. So maybe this is the one that'll help. But
speak for yourself, but I had a great one last time.
Yeah, I've actually been doing a lot better now that I have Rey. When I get Jedi Knight Luke, I know that's going to be the next progression. That'll help out with that. I haven't been doing terrible in Lightside territory battle anymore, but it's a slog to get through. It's a good, to get through 4 waves, it's probably 15 minutes?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah,
because I typically don't make it to 4, so it's over for me much more quick.
Stan gets through phase 1 and hits auto and just God.
Right.
Why would I lose again? I don't understand.
Why isn't this working?
Oh, the old man, go yell at a tree.
Don't tempt me.
He's like that Grandpa Simpson's gif.
He has a whole new property of trees to get used to him yelling at them.
Yeah, whole new neighborhood worth of trees. Can't wait.
The new neighborhoods will be like, that weird guy's out again.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty much what else we got here.
Nothing much for the road ahead I can think of. Data mines has been PAX, nothing too exciting there. Galactic challenges, they're still rolling, still kind of changing things up some. The Starble Detonator one been kind of tricky because we're either too overpowered or not powerful enough.
Yeah,
at least in my experience.
Well, didn't they mention that in, I forget if it was like on Galactic Warport or something, but they are cognizant of that, where like they had like the crit hits, like nobody could do it because of that same problem. They were either too overpowered or couldn't do it because they didn't have the strong enough tunes.
I think that's what brought up the that you were going to get all rewards for whatever's underneath the tier you complete because of that. That's kind of what brought that up and everything, and that's why that reward system, that if you beat the tier, you're going to get all the rewards underneath, figuring that your characters, to be able to complete the rewards, would be too overpowered or anything, or be difficult to complete otherwise. I think that's how they were kind of getting around it. That was at least my impression of it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Then, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all the news. News we got, right?
Yeah, no listener questions. So, if you want something answered, ask us.
Yeah, just don't ask about counters, because, jeez, avoid them like the plague. I see them, and I'm like, yep, not gonna happen right now. It's not worth it.
I just run and hide.
Yeah, I just look at it and go, yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'll just battle around it and then leave it there at the end and say, yep, it is what it is. I mean, Marquee Watch, we're waiting for Moff Gideon. Hopefully this week he will drop.
Seems likely, yeah. He was in the show, so he's good to go now. I guess Quill and IG, not necessarily Marquee, but they'll show up at some point.
Well, that was the modified one. Quill and IG-11 were the modified one that are going to be in the Cantina, and I don't even know how long they go into dropping Cantina shards and then go into a hard node or whatever. They really weren't clear on the time frame on how that was going to be divided up, whether it was like that full few weeks or whatever before it would hit free to play. I guess who y'all bumping and grinding on?
Well, it's gear now. I finished Piet, so I don't have anybody left to farm. So retired farmer for a few weeks anyway.
I am getting all freaky with the Sith Eternal Emperor.
Right.
He's pretty freaky. You got that harness you can use.
We make good use of that thing.
Don't get too close. I heard he's rather shocking.
Yeah, little tickler. Little zap.
Just enough when you're bad.
Yeah, just don't get too rough. It could fall off. And,
oh man, I am just going through, gearing up. Like I said, the Jedi Knight Luke requirements, getting them all up to Relic 3. So I'm actually Hermit Yoda, Rolo, and Lando all are at gear 12. So trying to finish them up, and Cholo is the only one. I think he's at 10. Yeah, he's at 10 right now. So moving along. Hux and Sith Trooper, I'm waiting for those double drops to hit because they actually are two characters that fall into that double drop situation. I'm at 77 of 100 for Hux and 31 of 100 for Sith Trooper.
Okay, yeah, that'll definitely speed that up.
Yeah, so I'm just going through with Mon Mothma and Chupio until that update hits.
It seems so crazy. Hux seems like a new character, but I guess it's been almost a year now.
Yeah, he's been over a year. That's why I was like going through, and I'm like, well, I'll stop farming the hard node that I saw that he popped up there. And I'm 20 of 100 on the Rebel Y-Wing, so pretty much setting up my progression to go right from Slicker to Jedi Knight Luke to Grandmaster Luke is the progression I'm pretty much set up for.
Nice.
Then, yeah, that's pretty much all the Galaxy of Heroes news. We got some Star Wars news going through with Mando starting back up. We had the Lego Holiday Special. Trying to think if there was anything else. There's been a lot of rumors and everything moving around with it.
Yeah, we have. Well, from a certain point of view, got released. So there's some little lore tidbits that are coming out. All the Star Wars channels have been digging into that. I have not listened to it yet, so I can't speak too much on that. But it's those are always pretty interesting.
Well, before we get into that, let's go through. And we're going to get into Star Wars news. We're going to get into Mando. We're going to get into spoilers. So if you aren't all about that, thanks for listening and everything. And we'll catch you next time. If you want to keep listening, great. And let's get into just all-out spoiler, whatever you want to talk about that's current and rumored.
Sure. All right. All the losers are gone. So all the true fans. Certain point of view, we'll talk about that as soon as I listen to it. Cott, you going to do this one?
From a certain point of view?
Yeah.
I'll get it. I loved the first one. It had some really interesting, like, Biggs's was really kind of almost touching. So I'll get it. I've read that the Emperor's one is really kind of interesting.
Okay. May have to just do that one first. Get that one out the way. Y'all haven't seen the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special yet, have you?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
I watched it yesterday. It was good. It's so weird too because it's set after Rise of Skywalker. They reference the events of the movie, and kind of go into pretty significant lore implications following that.
Well, Okay,
now there's a lot. There's a lot of good.
I haven't run from spoilers, so Sparrow, do you care if I ask a question?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I heard that Rey's first Padawan is Finn.
Yes. He is Force sensitive. He is training to be a Jedi, and that is the crux of this whole show. Is she's trying to become a better Jedi Master for Finn, and ends up using the World Between Worlds, which is a canon Star Wars thing, to kind of revisit other Jedi Masters and their Padawans, and then it all gets goofy and kind of goes from there in typical Lego humor. So some of that stuff obviously is not going to be canon, but the setup I found was really interesting, and the show itself was actually really good. There were some really great jokes in it. Humor was good. The voice acting for the most part was close enough. They did get Rose back. Lando actually was Billy D. Williams.
What about Boyega? Was he in it?
No, he was not. Daisy was not. Poe was, or Oscar was not. So, C-3PO, it was, Daniels was in it.
Oh, he always shows up.
Yeah, he'll do anything. He'd probably do our show if we asked him nice enough. So, it's worth a watch. I enjoyed it. Especially if you got kids, I think they'd get a kick out of it too. But I guess the big stuff, Mandalorian Season 2 is on fire.
Yeah. So here's what I wanted to go through as far as the Darksaber goes. So Bo-Katan is all about getting the Darksaber back to take over, to take back Mandalorian and become the rightful ruler of Mandalore, because she is in possession of the Darksaber.
Right.
Moff Gideon has the Darksaber, but we don't know how Moff Gideon got the Darksaber from Sabine, because Sabine's the last known character to possess the Darksaber.
No. Sabine gave it to Bo-Katan, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot at the end of that series that she gave it up.
Yeah, she didn't. She wanted to devote to the rebellion and not just Mandalore.
Okay, so Bo-Katan had it stolen as far as going through, but we do have okay. For some reason, Yeah, for some reason I was thinking Sabine still had it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So Sabine's at this point, what we know, Sabine is with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Looking for Ezra. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that whole reveal was just awesome.
Yeah.
Like the whole putting Yoda in danger, of course, got everybody just focused on that, and then they swoop in. You kind of get a glimpse of the owl helmet. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And you hear the voice. You're like, wait a minute. And for me, I had captions on, and I read Bo-Katan say, something, brother, and I lost my shit. So that was awesome. It didn't have Katie Sackhoff playing her too. It's just so good.
Well, when Sasha Banks dove into that thing and she was like, on it, I thought that was Sabine. I was 100% convinced it was Sabine, and I was just like, I kind of giggled. I was like, hee! And I was like, and then she comes up and it's like, what's her name? Koska Reeves. And I was like, damn it.
I'm curious to go through to see how Sabine fits in, because I think Sabine's going to end up showing up at some point. I'm hoping with Ahsoka here in the next episode, because the rumor is the title of the next episode is The Jedi.
Right, yeah. And Dave Filoni's directing it too.
Yeah.
So if she is not,
oh my god,
if she's not in it, it is the biggest troll job Star Wars has ever done.
It's going to be Mace Windu. They're going to find Mace Windu instead of Ahsoka.
Right. I don't know. It seems like a setup. I mean, it should not be that easy to find, Ahsoka.
Well, I don't think it's been easy to find at all, considering what the whole last 3 or 4 episodes have all been trying to find Ahsoka.
Or even a single Mandalorian.
Just a Mandalorian to. They seem to be pretty easy to find. You just go to any bar and they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw a whole bunch of them. Just go over here and do a side mission, and you'll get them."
Well, here's my kind of
how the game works.
Yeah,
you go to the bar, you get a side mission, and then you get a completion.
You go to the guy with the exclamation
point. They got to go
to
the cantina.
Yeah. He'll give you a quest. He'll go in your quest log. Yeah.
It just seems to me like the Mandalorians should have better tabs on each other than they do. Like, if they are really this limited in number, they should kind of know where Bo-Katan is. They should kind of know where this creepy cult is.
No, they have been. I mean, the Mandalorian is out of it because he's part of Death Watch and the cult of the Death Watch, and they're pretty much have been segregated from the actual rest of Mandalore because they went through and trying to keep the original traditions, not taking out the helmet, going through and being all about war and fighting and clan wars and name, where the rest of Mandalore became more about politics, growing as a civilization. So the rest of Mandalore might actually know where each other are and everything, and it's just that small cult because they were the ones always fighting and the ones that segregated them away from everybody, away from them.
Maybe to keep them from knowing the truth.
Yeah.
I saw one reaction.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I saw one reaction video that I had to crack up laughing, and it was like, so basically, Din Djarin's homeschooled. And, Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorians, they're public school. They smoke behind the bleachers. They're pretty cool.
yeah, pretty
that's
much.
Awesome.
That's pretty much what I got from it, and starting to go through and think that Mandalorians are not so much that scarce or anything like that. They just, the Death Watch group themselves are.
Right.
Because as you saw, Din Djarin also went through, and as soon as they took off their helmets, his immediate response are, "Oh, these aren't real Mandalores; they're just imitations."
Right. And then they made fun of him. We're like, "Oh, great, one of these guys again."
Yeah,
right. And they're like, "No, I'm from." It's like, "I'm from Mandalore, asshole." It's like, "No, Mandalore's a poison. It'll kill you. It's cursed." I'm like, no, bro. And he's like, "Fake news," and flew away.
Yeah.
So okay, that little thing right there. Do you think Lucasfilm, Favreau, Filoni are trying to make a political statement?
No, I don't think so. I think it's. I think they are. They'll have political overtones because Star Wars always has.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessarily a statement on anything current right now.
No.
But, I do think the Mandalorian overall is not a reference to Din. More of a what is a Mandalorian, because we're going to get eventually Boba Fett, in his kind of gray status with them. You've got the different,
before I forget,
Children of the Watch.
Before I forget, did you hear the rumors about Boba Fett? And I did not realize in other books that Boba Fett supposedly has other armor.
I don't think well, those are legends now. That wouldn't be canon.
Yeah, they were talking about, because of the legends, having Boba Fett have different armor, and the Mandalorian took his original armor, that Boba Fett may appear somewhere further down in the series with his other armor, bringing it into canon.
Possible, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I just don't understand why he's hanging out with sand people, though.
Why not?
Yeah, it's
they're misunderstood. Stop judging the sand people. They are just misunderstood.
That's 100% true.
Ask Urs. Urs understands how much Tuskens are misunderstood and how good they are.
Even the women and the children?
Hey. There's no discrimination.
All right. So that was, let's see. Oh, at the end of the show, they're like, go see Ahsoka. Everybody lost their shit again. On Corvus. Now, this isn't a planet that has been referenced before in Star Wars lore. The only reference or anything this Corvus has been the ship from what was it? No, it wasn't. Was it Battle? One of them Star Wars games. I'm drawing a blank. Maybe Battlefield or Battlefront 2, the story mode on that, which would have been Iden. So if that's the case, they may tie in with Inferno Squadron somehow, which would be cool.
Yeah, I mean they could be around there. I'm just hoping that somewhere we see Sabine also.
I think we will. Yeah, I think we get that. I think we get Rex. I think we get the whole shebang. That's also rumored to be the backdoor pilot. I don't know. We'll see.
For the rumored series of like basically Sabine and Ahsoka finding Ezra and Thrawn.
Yeah, yes. the Ashoka.
Oh my god, that was horrible.
It was. I know. I'm sorry.
He's had honey-do lists all day, so he doesn't know where the hell he is anymore.
Yeah,
Just had a tree to yell at.
I'm done. I'm starving to death too, so we got that going on. So then we had the last episode, kind of brought back the Empire, showed them not quite as dead as we thought they were. Kind of had some bases, had some ships, had some cool stuff.
And it seemed like they were doing research on cloning.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Are
they bringing back the clone army?
I don't know. I think they're going to tie it into Rise of Skywalker. I mean, they're trying to get midichlorians into donors or the new bodies.
You mean the M count?
Yeah, the M count. Yeah.
We don't talk about midichlorians anymore.
Right.
That was hilarious.
So one of the little Easter egg YouTube videos I saw, I think from Screen Rant, they were talking, or maybe Screen Crush, Screen something. They were talking about that scene, and they showed the kind of deformed bodies in the tank. Of course, you kind of get the image of Snoke from Rise of Skywalker, the spares they had for him. Funnily enough, the musical cue in The Mandalorian was based on the track from The Force Awakens called Snoke. So, is that a hint?
Okay, so I thought I saw a Twi'lek.
No, it wasn't a Twi'lek. It was just it may have been just the body was so deformed and kind of had growths all over it. So it could have been a Twi'lek, or it could have been just nastiness, mutated body. So the thing I really think they're going to do is tie this into Rise of Skywalker with the Emperor and having his host bodies be force sensitive.
Well, I guess that makes sense that basically all these research labs and everything doing research is not so much about cloning, it's about going through and bringing back or regaining the strength of the Emperor.
Yeah. Now, the only issue with that is the Empire loyalists, the ones that were deemed worthy enough to go be the First Order, they're already out in the unknown regions to this point. The Empire that's left behind still operating was the wannabes. So they're junior varsity. So
maybe that's what makes Gideon so terrifying, is that he is a part of the First Order, but he's been sent back to the galaxy to go, fuck shit up.
Maybe. Yeah. Or maybe he's doing this for his own gain. Own power or whatever. So I can see. I would rather them tie it into the larger story, but I could see him play it small just to keep it more contained. That's nice too. Just having it be its own thing, just be the story of Din as he goes through things we haven't seen before. That there's a lot of value in that too. I'd be happy either way.
And they can still do it both ways, in which he's going through doing it for his own personal gain and everything, and then at the very end having the Final Order coming in and basically taking the research for their own. Kind of like a double cross, and like they watch him up to a certain point. As soon as he progresses, they come in and take him out and take over everything that the knowledge and everything that he just gained.
Yeah, because at this point, the First Order isn't even the First Order yet. They're under a different name. I forget what it is in the books. It was in Bloodlines, I think. They're just kind of a paramilitary organization at this point. The ones that are still interacting with the galaxy. But they hint at that too. The Resistance pilot at the end, he's like, hey, stuff's going on out here. The core worlds don't want to believe it, but we need the Outer Rim planets on our side to get this under control. And they're like, nah, going out of here.
Yeah, we'll see.
That was my take on it. I'm loving the bigger world, not necessarily being, definitely referenced with the Bo-Katan stuff, but like as far as the mainline movies go, just kind of being a backdrop.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited to see what is coming from it, see how everything progresses and everything ties in, because I know they'll go through and start adding a little bit of tie-ins, because they did the same thing with Clone Wars, Resistance, Rebels. Every single one of them, they go through, and as the first couple seasons, kind of like just building those characters, building that overall plot line, then you get little pieces that start tying it into the overall Star Wars universe.
That's all the lore stuff I got. Y'all have anything more you saw or liked or want to see?
No, I think we're good.
No, that's it. Pretty much got everything.
All right, well, cool. Trying to think what else is really happening. Not.
That's it. That's really it until we get some updates here. We'll get some updates hopefully this week and see how some of the stuff CG has said it actually gets implemented within the game itself.
Yeah, let's hope so. I'm gonna go finish up some projects and eat some dinner.
Cottman's gonna go get his brain swabbed.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah,
that's in 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, good luck with that. Hopefully everything comes back negative and get a quarantine, but not be sick or have to worry about anything else. That's the main.
But the bright side is my Thanksgiving break is already here.
Yeah, you have to use up your vacation time or nothing on it.
Exactly.
So, all right, let's get on out of here. Why don't you wrap everything up, Stan, and we'll head on out.
Yeah, same deal. Leave us a review on iTunes, your podcast server of choice. Helps us show up in searches. Again, we're trying to get better about being more reliable. I think we got a good groove now. I'm really feeling good about it. I think we're a little more amped up on the game and willing to talk about it. So hit us up on Discord. Link will be in the show notes. We're pretty much always there. Been kind of busy lately. Haven't been able to kind of interact as much as I'd like to, but I still check in and kind of see what's going on and see what's twisting in there. And you can email us, cantinavisla@gmail.com, if you still communicate that way. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, guys. Later.
Have a good one.
As you are exiting the cantina, we would like to say thanks for stopping by, and we hope to see you out on the holo table soon.